friend of mine once asked a young boy what he wanted to be when he grows up. This young boy happens to be deaf, and he responded by telling her that he didn't know that deaf people became adults. This story broke my heart. It made me realize how much the mainstream media and what people see influences how people find what's possible in their future, or if there is a future for them. Most people ask me, if I were to do it all over again, would I still want to be a little person? And I always respond by saying, I would still choose to be a little person, but I would change the way that society reacts to my difference. Most little people are treated by what is seen in the media. Since there are only 30,000 little people in the United States, what people see in the media influences how they approach us when they see us in public. Sometimes I'm approached in fear. People point, stare, laugh. Other times, people show some respect. There have been some great progression in the media, with shows like Game of Thrones with Peter Dinklage. He's known as a talented actor who happens to be a little person. Then there are shows like TLC's Little People, Big World and Little Couple. People start to understand that we are a part of society and that we just want an equal chance to participate. I've chosen to be a part of the disability community as a whole. In fact, little people are part of the ADA Act, and we're included. Some little people choose not to be a part of the disability community, and it's a personal choice. But I've decided to embrace this community of people with so many incredible talents. It's been about 3 years since I've been actively advocating for the disability community in the media. I want to see more things on screen showing what people are capable of and proper representations of them in the media. If you see someone in a wheelchair on TV, you want to hope that that's someone in a wheelchair in real life. They bring more authenticity to the part. I heard a story once from a friend, and he was telling me how one of his friends who does not have a disability was told to audition for a part of someone in a wheelchair. I was so happy to hear what he did when he did get the part. He told the casting directors that he wants to take a step back and let them audition every person they know in a wheelchair. And if he's still right for the role, then that's the perfect time for him to come in and take the part. People with disabilities just want a chance to participate in society. They don't want to be given a break. If someone's not right for the role, then that's okay. We just hope that authenticity is brought to the part, and then people will go on realizing how much we're capable of. As I was saying, Little People, Big World, and Little Couple have built awareness. I've had more people come up to me who are just curious. It's okay for people to be curious. I want them to ask questions. I just don't want them to make assumptions and think that we aren't people. We want to be treated like anyone else. Same with people who are amputees or in wheelchairs or blind or deaf. Everyone just wants to share their story and be a part of society. I want to encourage all of you to share your disability story. If it's a loved one, if it's a family member, if it's someone who you came across one time in your life, encourage them to share their disability story. I spent 6.5 years working in the entertainment industry in Los Angeles. It took me about 100 interviews to get into that industry, and most times when I would go on interviews, people looked at me in fear when I walked in the room. I didn't feel it was necessary to tell people that I was a little person before going in for the interview, because I know that that can sometimes set someone apart from even getting the interview. After 100 interviews, I took the route of being a temporary employee so I could prove myself and then continue my work in the industry that I was passionate about being a part of. And the whole reason for this passion was so I could help change the perceptions of what they put out there, because it directly influences how we're treated in society. I Google the word disability every day, and I find inspiring stories. Stories that aren't about complaining about benefits and claims and why we can't do this or that. It's stories of people out there doing amazing things. Through this search, I found a movie called The Movement. It's a Warren Miller film. He's known for doing a lot of ski movies. And it's called The Movement. It profiles the lives of 5 people who have a disability and are getting back on the mountain and skiing in a different way. There's no right way to do anything. The adaptive sports world is incredible and really has allowed for people to understand that we can participate, we can be a part of this movement called life. One of the characters, or people, in the movement was the late Rick Finkelstein. He was the chief operating officer of Universal Pictures. If more people could hear Rick's story, they would realize that anyone with any type of disability can achieve any job that they want in their lives, and they can be the CEOs and COOs, they can be the founders, they can be the change makers. They just need to be given a chance. When I was working in the industry, because I can't hide my difference, people started sharing their disability stories with me. I heard one story where the head of a company had told me that his father had no legs, and he lived with him for 8 years. He had a disability story, but not anyone else in that company knew that story. I want more people to be able to hear these stories so we can all realize that we can relate in more ways than we think we can. We're all on this earth together, and we all want to be a part of it and just be appreciated and accepted. I don't want to go out in public anymore and have someone approach me in fear, think that I'm going to jump out at them because they see someone on TV who's jumping out at people. One of my friends told me a story about working as a professor at an institution, and her bosses told her that she is a midget, and it's okay that people in that organization are afraid of midgets. First of all, the term midget is not acceptable. It reminds the little people community of the circus acts in the old days, and we don't want to be called midgets. Call us by our names. I just want to be called Becky, and if you ask any other little person, they just want to be called by their name and be a part of society. Thank you all for listening to me today, and I hope that you give everyone out there with some type of difference a chance. Ask questions, don't make assumptions, and just embrace how much change they can bring to your lives. Thank you.